Hello and welcome to the Tall Order. We are with Halifax Wanderers and it is the beginning of the second season, and this is a full Canadian Premier League season, so it is very, very exciting. Been a lot of things going on since we last saw you. You've had a big pre-season, a big pre-season. We played a lot of games, and we've also made quite a few signings. There's been quite a few changes around the club. Some of them you knew were coming, but some of them are quite surprising and quite interesting. So, but let's start off with the transfers and see who we've brought in. So we do have to go back to season 2020 to actually get a better idea, because some of these new signings did happen before the season was over, or at least were initiated. So if we have a look at people who came in, you know about Kiabi, you know about Sean Melvin. I signed him at the start of the season. Who you don't know about, and he is the first signing that I made at the end of the season, is Sean Hundal from Valor FC. Now, we got him on a free, but the most interesting thing about Sean Hundal, who is a striker, he was the second top goal scorer in the Canadian Premier League last season, with Akeem Garcia from Halifax Wanderers being top. So we now have, as a result, the two top scorers from last season in our squad. An interesting thing about Sean Hundal is he only wanted to be I don't think it says it here, I can't see it anyway. He only wanted to be a fringe player. I expect that to change, because quite honestly, in pre-season he's been great. I mean, look at that. 6 starts, 6 sub-appearances and 8 goals. He's outstripped Garcia, certainly, in the pre-season. So, you never know. He might be taking Garcia's spot, but we'll see. Like most players, funnily enough, I have started on his development. We've got him in for trying tricks because of his high flair, which seems to have dropped slightly, but nevertheless, again, trying to build in those player traits into some of these players as they didn't already have them. Behind him, we have Carl Haworth. He's 31 years old. He's Canadian. He does have some under-20 international experience, but he's basically here for his mentals as much as anything else, and as some depth outright. Strong determination, resolute personality, and obviously he's a team leader. And like I say, we needed some depth on the right, and he's an excellent choice. As like I say, he may only have a couple of seasons left in him, but he is excellent for the mentoring team, so very, very happy with him. After Carl Haworth, we have Zoran Basong, who came in on a free. Another young Canadian. He's a left-back, and he goes into that left-back group with Daniel Kanumbe and Matteo Restrepo. Restrepo, I believe, can play either side and generally prefers to play right, but he's the floating man, if you will. So, yes, Basong is slightly better than Kanumbe, but obviously between the two of them, they do both have some development to do, which will be fantastic for them to see it. So it's nice to have a bit of quality depth there, which is fantastic. After that, we have Karifa Yao, who comes from Montreal Impact on loan, and he's a central defender. Now, initially, for some reason, when we signed him, and I guess because it was the end of last season, we got him for 1 month, and then we had to extend it for the full season. So he's in here. We needed more depth at centre-half, but again, good determination, good jumping reach, strong player, physical player. Not a lot in terms of ball control, but hopefully a half-decent defender. He's done okay in pre-season, nothing outstanding, but again, it's more to add depth than to be a first choice. After that, we have Ernest Aguirre, who came in a free. Now, Ernest Aguirre is a foreigner, as in he's not Canadian, he's from Ghana, and we brought him in and had to get rid of somebody in order to make room for another foreign player. We still have one too many for squad registration, which is why Bent is still not registered. But the reason why we signed this young man, look at that free kick taken. We finally got ourselves a free kick taker, which is brilliant. Still need a proper corner taker, but getting a proper free kick taker, I think, will make a big difference. So I'm happy with him. Still got a bit of room for improvement, but definitely strengthened up that central midfield. In terms of the players that went out at the tail end of last season, Krasnovic and Sa you knew about. He went to York 9. Alex de Carolis you knew about. I sold him on. And Andre Rampersad, I let him go to FC Edmonton. Again, it was a bit of a tough decision. I felt Rampersad had some development to do and certainly a future with the club. But he's not Canadian. And I needed that spot. And as I was strengthening up the midfield, it made sense to move him on. I may live to regret it, but we'll see. But nevertheless, Andre Rampersad is now in an FC Edmonton shirt. So if we move into 2021, the start of this season, as you can see, oh look, more signings. Oh, in fact, there we go. Look, it's actually registered most of these. has been 2021. I didn't see that earlier. Anyway, Ramstad, you know about. Jake Ruby, we've also let go on loan. Basically, he's not quite strong enough for the first team yet, and there's too much competition for that spot. So I decided to let him go out on loan and hopefully help him along with his development. And Omar Cream, he went to Austin for 5.5 grand. Again, he'd done all right for us, but he wasn't particularly stand out, and he wasn't getting in the team. So, not really, I needed to make way in terms of the wage budget. So, in terms of going back to the people we brought in, obviously we looked at Aguirre. There's two others that have been added on: Hansen Boakai. My apologies. And he's a right winger, there for depth, but he's also a striker too. Good dribbling, not much on the finishing front, to be fair. So he's certainly more likely to play on the wing. But done really well in pre-season. 6 starts, 5 sub-appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists. And an XG of 4. Average rating just over 7. That's not bad. So I'm hoping for decent things. He's already started to show a very slight improvement in his game as well. So Handsome Boakai may well be a very good player for Halifax. I mean, he did okay for FC Edmonton last year by the looks of things. 7 appearances, 2 goals, 1 assist. But I think he's going to do better than that here at Halifax. Obviously, him we paid for 155 grand, but I do believe that is money well spent. And finally, we have Gianfranco Fascianeri, who came in on loan from Vancouver. He's a centre-half. And again, strong physical player. Not a lot in the way of ball skills. So, again, a central defender as opposed to a ball-playing defender. But he was actually at Atletico Ottawa on loan last season. Did quite well with them. But I'm hoping he'll do even better with us at the moment. I mean, he's worth 400 grand. That puts him, high up there in the value of players we've got. His determination could be better, but he is in the development group, so you never know. Over the season, we might help improve that. But yeah, again, more strength at the back, shall we say. But yeah, that covers everything in terms of the transfers. Yeah, so what that means in terms of the transfers and in terms of the squad and where we are up to, we have a squad of 21 players. The maximum have been 23. We've got our maximum of 7 foreign players. Corey Bent is, of course, not registered, and I'm still trying to sell him, but nobody wants him, unfortunately. He turned down about 4 British teams in the closed season. He could have been playing championship-level football, but he turned them all down just to stay with us and not get a game, which is a shame. Because, I mean, he plays in pre-season, obviously, because there's no restrictions, but he obviously can't play in the league. So yeah, now this is a bit tight. We're on 11 grand, and the maximum salary cap is 11,250. So we are right up to the wire. I definitely can't sign anybody over the age of 21. I think it is at this point, and at the very least register them to play. So if anybody else is coming in, they're going to be young players. But like I say, I've only got a couple of spots left in the squad anyway. We do hopefully have our youth candidates coming in September, however, so that should make a difference. But that is the squad, that is what we're spending, and this is the team that's hopefully going to come back with the silverware in this season of the Canadian Premier League. So we'll have a quick look at pre-season, but I'm not going to go into too much depth. I added a lot more games than we had already. We obviously had, 4 months worth of friendly games before, the Canadian Premier League starts. So I filled it up. We almost did as many friendlies as we have games in the season. But I wanted to try a few things out. I wanted to work the team a bit. And like I say, I won't go over in great detail. But Vancouver at home, bearing in mind that Vancouver Whitecaps are, of course, an MLS professional team. We drew 0-0 with them, which was a cracking result, really. We then faced New England's second team, who New England themselves are an MLS team. Beat them 3-0, which, again, I was expecting that kind of result, if you know what I mean, but still decent. We then went away to Montreal Impact, of course, another MLS team, and we lost 4-2. But I tell you, it was a good match, and I was very pleased with our performance. Riggy put in a good game. Garcia had a half-decent game. And as you can see in terms of stats, we still managed 7 shots with 4 on target. And still managed 2 goals out of it. So that was great. And it was good, obviously, for Garcia to get a goal there. After that, we had Nashville. Again, MLS team. Drew with them 0-0 at home. That was a decent result. We played a local smaller team, Halifax City SC, and we smashed them 5-1. A little morale booster thrown in there. And after that, we hosted Vancouver yet again at home, and this time they beat us 2-0, which was a realistic result, to be fair. After that, we faced Hartford. Now, Hartford were only in the conferences in the United States, but they held us to a 1-1 draw, so that wasn't our finest hour. But we bounced back. We faced off against Chicago Fire, who are, of course, one of the top MLS teams, though. It looks like they've had a couple of dodgy seasons there, and we beat them 2-0. They came to Halifax, and we taught them a lesson. I was very, very happy with that result. It was, I know it's only a pre-season friendly and all, but 1.51 XG to their 0.57. That's, bearing in mind that I would love to raise the Canadian Premier League, reputation level to be, above the MLS. Getting results like that is the way to go, I would suggest. But anyway, it fell apart after that, unfortunately. We had a game against Austin FC, which we lost 3-2. Again, decent game. I thought we played well, but ultimately Austin managed to snag it. And then we hosted Sheffield United just for fun. And we managed 2 goals against them, but ultimately they beat us 4-2. So, again, not too surprised with that, but still pleased with our performance. And in fact, if you look at the shots, we had an equal number of shots to them and only 3 less on target. And as it was, we had the higher XG at 2.54 to theirs 2.09. So, in terms of those figures alone, we quite possibly should have beaten Sheffield United. So, it does go to show that maybe somewhere around the back here, we're a bit leaky. But yeah, so that was fun. And then after that, we had a couple of easy games. Again, morale builders. A 2-0 away win against Montreal. Outremont, as you know, we struggled a wee bit against them in the pre-season friendlies at the start of Season 1. So 2-0 stroll past them was nice. Sean Hundell getting a 92nd minute second goal, but still, 2-0 was good. And then we played Halifax SC again and beat them 7-1 again. So just another game to build morale. First game of the season, which you're going to be seeing, is up against Cavalry FC, and this is, of course, the Canadian Premier League spring season. It will be split between spring and fall will contain all of the teams that have qualified for the second stage, which hopefully will include Halifax. Okay, just a couple of things to show you before we get into the match. I wanted to show you the staff levels. Obviously, I filled everything up now. We have all of the staff we have room for, and as things stand, we have the best of everything in the league. That suggests to me they haven't tried very hard in recruiting staff across the other teams. But nevertheless, that's not a bad situation to go in, be in. If we go to the finances, we're doing well financially. We're up to nearly, just shy of, call it 550,000. We've spent a little bit of money. Original budget was 745 grand. And our wage budget is now 17 grand. Obviously, in terms of bringing in younger players, we can do that, but in terms of first team players, well, the overall squad limit is, of course, 11,250, which I'm hoping will change as we improve the reputation of the Canadian Premier League, but we'll find out. One of those things. But yeah, we're doing all right financially, and what that means is, if we go to the club vision, they've agreed to improve the training facilities. So we've got our first improvement going on, which is fantastic, because if we look at the facilities, our training facilities are basic, so it will be nice to improve that. And I think that's going to be probably the biggest thing with this save is improving all the facilities at Halifax, and then really training and getting players good, if you know what I mean. And like I say, really building up a decent youth recruiting network and youth development as well. So that is quite interesting. The other thing is, which will be under Club Vision, that they announced at the start of the season, is that they're going to build a new stadium. Now, obviously, it's in there. Nothing's happening. It's definitely in the planning stage, and obviously it's going to cost money. So, and they shouldn't be judging me on this objective, because it's not me who's bloody building it, is it? No. Anyway, so that's where we're up to. So financially well off. We've got a fairly strong squad coming into this. We've got a new stadium being built, and we are already improving the training facilities. And I think, given the money we have in the bank, and given the fact that I'm probably not going to be making any more transfers this season, probably, then I think we might be doing some more facilities improvement if we can. So that is exciting. Okay, here we are. It is the first game of the season, and it is going to be on this YouTube episode. I had thought about streaming it, but no, you guys will get to see it. This is our lineup. In goal, it's Melvin. A back four of Basong, Eric Santos, Fascineri and Kuyabi. Defensive midfield, Sissoko. Central midfield, Aguirre and Firth. Left wing, Marshall. Right wing, Boakai. And up front, it's Akeem Garcia. Scott Firth and Ernest Aguirre still working on their tactical familiarity, but overall, people are not looking bad, so I'm very happy with that. And in fact, are you playing in the right position? I'm not sure that you are. I'm fairly sure I wanted you guys the other way around. That's better. But Firth doesn't like being a Carolero. You would think I'd have sorted this out earlier, wouldn't you? Yes, he does. He's alright. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. What has he been developed as, though? Not a Carolero, because he's... that's why, because he's the understudy for Sissoko. I will leave him as is. He's not playing in his first choice position, but yeah. That's great. Same with Marshall. As you can see, he's pretty good over on that side as an inverted winger, but his main position, I would suggest, is outright. So, anyway, let's go to the match. Okay, this is the lineups. Cavalry Football Club hosting Halifax Wanderers. And they're actually favourites for this game. We are not. And poor old handsome Bakai is nervous, and I'm not entirely sure why. But go out there and impress me is the advice from the assistant manager. But I think... Shall I expect to win? Well, it made no difference, so fair enough. It was a bit of a risk the first game, but like I say, they are actually favourites. So I think their close season has been quite good in terms of transfers, so we'll see how good mine are. Does Sergio Camargo's absence make your job easier today? Helps, but we can't become complacent. Peter Charles' recent injury problems contributed to his absence today. Could have taken the risk, but ain't worth it. And we do have some depth there. Halifax in their home kit. And Cavalry in the red. And we will go... Oops. Full match. Just for a few minutes. Just as we get kicked off. So we're playing positively, as recommended by the assistant manager. Basong with the throw-in for Halifax. Finds Sissoko. Lovely work. Basong now finds Firth. Firth is fouled just outside of the edge of the box by Carpaccio. So it'll be a free kick. Aguirre to take it. Lovely ball. Cleared only as far as Aguirre again. Sissoko puts it out wide. Fascineri was offside, unfortunately. Good effort. Good effort. Goal kick for Cavalry. Caducci to take it. Searching ball. Finds Simmons in the end. Trafford to Ledgerwood. Simmons with a ball through. Carpaccio. Daniels finds Farsi. Farsi with a cross, but Santos clears it, but only as far as Simmons and Daniels. PC with a cross, cleared by Fascinari. Boakai with the clearance. But again, they're just knocking it straight back. PC on the wing. Kuyabi blocks it. Boakai now trying to get the ball forward. Can't get it to Garcia. Simmons with another ball forward. It's just a lot of long balls, isn't it? Melvin. Eric Santos. Eric's Santos even. Zator, Simmons. You know what? I need to make some changes here. This is not working. Let's get rid of that. Let's stay on that. Let's bring that tempo right the way down. And let's take off being more disciplined. Let's give you guys a little bit of freedom. There's one or two flair players in there now. It's worked okay so far. We'll stick with that. Yeah, let's see if we can't do a bit better for possession. Farsi forces a corner. And we are 3.5 minutes in. Eric Santos with the clearance from the corner. Boakai picks it up. We're on the counter-attack now. Halifax coming forward. He's got somebody behind him, but he's got nobody to his left. Kuyabi's there. Sissoko. Kuyabi again. Oh, and a terrible pass there gives it away to the cavalry team. I think I'm going to go key highlights. We're not stunning, but we are doing okay. So we'll see how things go. I think I will and give us some encouragement, though. Akeem Garcia not having a great start. Handsome Boakai picked his game up a little bit there. In fact, it's improved even more. Throw-in now. Basong to Marshall with the flick on. Cleared, but Sissoko picks up the loose ball. Finds Aguirre. Aguirre through to Garcia. Sissoko. Garcia again. Finds Basong this time. They're looking to create something. Basong. Just off the side net. And I wonder if I should get some shooting on sight done. Just to see. Melvin. Fascinari. Out to Kuyabi. Finds Boakai. Into Garcia. Garcia finds Aguirre. Aguirre goes past his man. He's got support. Boakai picks it up. Tries a shot. Sissoko with a rebound. All sorts of stuff going on, but it's still with Halifax. Marshall now on the edge of the box. Basong gets a cross in. Nobody finds it. Garcia picks up the loose ball. Sissoko. Kuyabi now. Holding it up. Sissoko finds Kuyabi again. Will we get a cross? We do. Onto the head of Marshall, and it's there. 21 minutes. Alex Marshall scores. First goal of the season for Halifax Wonders. Away at Cavalry FC. That's fantastic. They certainly built up. Lovely work from Kuyabi. Gets his cross in. And there's Marshall waiting for the header. Fantastic. Well done, boys. Well, I'm going to give them some more encouragement because it certainly worked last time, but they've done well. That's good. Kuyabi with a throw in. Capacho steals it. He's going to be one-on-one. Melvin gets in the way. And Basong now on the ball. It's raining in Halifax, which, funnily enough, as I'm filming this, it's raining in Halifax. So we are currently up to second place overall, which, you know, means nothing at this point. Farsi with the throw in, but it's cleared. Marshall now on the counter-attack. Garcia's up to his right now. He's past his man. He's cut into the box. And unfortunately, that was not a great shot. That was disappointing. Oh, corner. Cleared again. Eric Santos this time. Capacho picks up the loose ball for Cavalry. And goes for the long pass back to Gaducci. I'm going to demand more again. Well, again for the first time. Oh, ball over. But Melvin is on it. It's 40 minutes. We are still 1-0. Did I go to key highlights? Yeah, I did. That's all right. Marshall. Lovely ball in for him. Oh, my goodness. And it's a scorcher of a shot, but it bounces off the post. And it's out for a throw-in. So far, Cavalry have had 3 shots and 3 on target. And we have had 10. 10 shots, but only 1 on target. And we have made that 1 shot count. We're certainly looking better than them. But that statistic is not great. It's not a great statistic. So, let us go to the dressing room. Garcia's not having a good game. I think that you lot can do better. And I especially feel like you can do better, young Mr. Garcia. So I'm actually going to have words with you. I'm not happy. I'm going to give you about 5-10 minutes to pick it up. But we've got Sean Hundal, who is hungry and sat on the bench and wants your spot, mate. So, let us get into the second half. And let us give them some encouragement. Nobody's particularly knackered. Everybody seems quite healthy at the moment. But Garcia is not picking his game up. It's 60 minutes, that's it. I think there's going to be a conversation with Garcia. Incidentally, he has recently started scoring for Trinidad and Tobago, so that's great, but he needs to score for us. Sean Hundal, on the other hand. I can now, we keep it on mixed crosses because Sean Hundal is a wee bit taller than Akeem Garcia. In fact, he's 5'11". His jumping reach is not ideal, but his heading's okay. But like I say, a little bit taller than Akeem, so gives us some height up front. But you know what? I could do with changing Scott Firth for Yems Jeffrard. But the problem is Jeffrard does not like playing a central midfield. He's better as a defensive midfielder. But he's much better as a half-back. Or an anchor man. Let's make him an anchor man. And Sissoko can continue to be a deep-lying playmaker on support. Alright. Go out there and make a difference. And let's go. Still raining. Still 1-0. 5 shots, 4 on target for Cavalry. 11 and 2 now for Halifax. I'm going to demand more. 12 and 2. Corner. Boakai to take it. It's into the middle. And oh, Fascinari gets on the end of it. It's 2-0 to Halifax. What a fantastic game. Fantastic game to start the season. Boakai delivers the corner and Fascianeri nods it home. Well done, boys. Well done indeed. So, I'm going to praise you for that because that was good. They got a 0.58 XG to our 1.48. That's brilliant. We do have that 1 goal cushion. Throw in for Daniels. Kiyabi clears it. Adi Kugbe. Trafford. A long ball forward but cleared by Basong. Marshall. Eric Santos tries to find Hundal. Doesn't happen. Kuyabi finds Boakai. Puts the ball for Hundal to run onto, which he gets to. He's 1-on-1. And Sean Hundal. That's his first goal of the season. I think there's going to be a few from this young man. I generally already feel like that is my epic signing of the season. An epic steal to get him on free. And he's made it 3-0 now for Halifax against Cavalry. It's 89 minutes. I think the 3 points are ours, but that was an epic goal. Well done, Sean Hundal. That's an excellent signing there. So yeah, there we go. Best performance, Sean Melvin, our goalkeeper. He did have a corker. He kept out 5 on-target shots. And of course, Halifax, 16 shots, 6 on target. We managed to sink 3 of them. That's a 1.71 XG to their 0.67. We had almost an equal number of corners. But our passes completed was better, and our possession was absolutely superb. So those little changes that I made to the tactics, I think, are going to become permanent changes and will continue as we move forward. Alrighty, well, that's the first game of the season over. And where do we sit? Well, we sit top because we scored more goals than anybody else. Halifax Wanderers 3, Cavalry 0. Yeah, goal difference of +3. We're on 3 points. As our Pacific, as our Edmonton, and as our Valor, who all won their games as well. But yeah, top after the first game. Let's see if we can hold on to that all season. But yeah, very, very solid performance. Very happy with that. Hundal coming on as super sub and scoring was brilliant. He's actually going to start, obviously, the next game for that. And I'm going to go away and have words with Akeem Garcia and see if we can't get him to improve his game too. But in the meantime, I'm going to be streaming this on Twitch. Make sure you follow me in the link below if you want to keep up. And obviously, there will be more episodes coming up as we go through. There will be a halfway review of the spring season before we indeed get into the autumn side of things. So I will definitely be seeing you on that. But we also have episodes of Canada duty coming up. We had some qualifying games for the World Cup in the North American group, so there's going to be an episode about those too. So a lot happening, a lot coming up. Please like and subscribe. Make sure you don't miss any. I've been avoiding relegation. This has been the Tall Order. Thank you very much for watching.